This is Euclid Book 9, proposition number 12. Here's the diagram. As you can see here, we've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. So we've got eight lines here. We've got 8 lines. Okay. If as many numbers as we please, beginning from a unit, be in continued proportion by however many prime numbers the last is measured, the next to the unit will also be measured by the same. Confused so far? Okay. Let there be as many numbers as we please, A, B, C, and D, beginning from a unit and in continued proportion. Okay. So we have A, B, C, and D. And at this point, I'm presuming that A is going to be a unit. I don't know that for sure yet. We haven't read that far in the proposition, but I believe it's going to be as A is to B, so will B is to C, and so will C be to D, if I recall correctly. Okay, now then. I say that by however many prime numbers D is measured, A will also be measured by the same. For let D be measured by any prime number E. I say that E measures A. Okay. We're going to say that E is a prime number. It could be 3, it could be 5, it could be 7, it could be 11. Doesn't matter. E is going to measure A. We just have to make sure that whatever prime number we pick here, it is going to measure A. That's the first thing. Okay. For suppose it does not. Now E is prime, and any prime number is prime to any which it does not measure, which is Euclid Book 729. Therefore, E and A are now prime to one another. And since E measures D, let it measure it according to F. Okay? Now we're going to say that E is going to be able to measure D. Okay? And it's going to measure it according to the units in F. Therefore, E, by multiplying F, is going to make D. You already see some problems here? Okay. Again, since A measures D according to the units in C, okay, therefore A, by multiplying C, has made D. And this is by Euclid Book 9, proposition number 11, and the porism. So now we're saying that A times C makes D. Yeah, this is going to get to be a real problem here. But further, E has also, by multiplying F, made D. Okay. E times F makes D. That's now what we're going to say. It's really going to get funky now. Therefore, the product of A and C is equal to the product of E and F. So A times C equals E times F. Therefore, as A is to E, so as F is to C. Okay, this is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 19. As A is to... Let me get this right here. As A is to E, so as F is to C. That's what we're saying. But now we have to remember that A and E are prime. Primes are also least, and the least measure are those which have the same ratio with the same number of times, the antecedent with the antecedent and the consequent with the consequent, which is Euclid Book 7, proposition number 20. Therefore, E measures C. Okay? Let it measure it according to the units in G. So therefore, E times G is now going to make C. Therefore, E by multiplying G has made C. But further, by the theorem before this, A has also, by multiplying B, made C. This is by Euclid Book 9, proposition number 11, and the porism. So now we're saying that A times B makes C. Okay? And as you know, we just said a minute ago that E times G makes C, and now we're saying that A times B makes C. Okay? Same letter. Therefore, the product of A and B is equal to the product of E and G. Therefore, as A is to E, therefore also G is to B. Here we go. As A is to E, so as G is to B. Now we're going to get to some real problems. This is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 19. But A and E are prime. Primes are also least, and the least number measures those which have the same ratio with them, the same number of times the antecedent to the antecedent, and the consequent to the consequent, which is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 20. Therefore, E measures B. Let it measure it according to the units to H. Therefore, E, by multiplying H, has made B. Okay. E times H makes B. That's what we're saying now. Oh boy. Here we go. But further, A has also, by multiplying itself, made B. This is by Euclid Book 9, proposition number 8. So A times A is B. Therefore, the product of E and H is equal to the square on A. So E times H equals A times A. Therefore, as E is to A, so as A is to H. And this is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 19. Okay. As E is to A, so as A is to H. That's what it's saying. Okay. But A and E are prime. Primes are also least. This is by Euclid Book 7, proposition number 21. And the least measure of those which have the same ratio of the same number of times the antecedent to the antecedent and the consequent to the consequent, which is Euclid Book 7, proposition number 20. Therefore, E measures A as antecedent. But again, it also does not measure it, which is impossible. So now we're saying that E does measure A, but we said before that E does not measure A. Well, which is it? Okay. Therefore, E and A are not prime to one another. Therefore, they are composite to one another. But numbers composite to one another are measured by some number, which is Euclid Book 7, definition number 14. And since E is by hypothesis prime, and prime is not measured by any number other than itself, therefore E measures A and E. So that E measures A. But it also measures D. Therefore, E measures A and D. Okay. First it's saying that E measures A and E. Now it's saying E measures A and D. Okay. Similarly, we can prove that by however many prime numbers D is measured, A will also be measured by the same. Bet you're glad that proof's over with. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video. Stay tuned.